Well, good afternoon. We've had just a really tough go of it today. It's not that classic kind of big winter storm that creates a lot of heavy snow and wind, or just plain old heavy snow. It's been a lot of wind and then some slick roads. And of course, we have had some snow with this round, a couple of inches in some places, but not a lot. It's really that wind and then the icy road combination. We're looking at a DOT cam from Minnesota from one of their plows. And this is around the Monoman area. And you could see that we've got tire tracks and snow blowing across the roadway, leading to some very slick spots. I had a viewer mention that he tried to drive into town today, and it wasn't necessarily the snow, but it was the wind and the icy road that was blowing his truck kind of laterally and horizontally across the roadway. He had to turn around and go back home. So it is just not ideal, and it continues to be a problem for us today. Here's a look at your road conditions in North Dakota. You can see it's pretty colorful on the map. Yellow, purple mean road, or rather ice or snow on the road in some of those locations in eastern North Dakota. So we are still contending with some areas of icy conditions. In Minnesota, same thing. And we're getting new updates on our crawl as well there of the latest alerts that we have in place, because we're getting some updates to our winter weather advisories and wind advisories as well. Speaking of wind, those gusts still going into the 40s, a 46-mile-per-hour gust in Fargo, 40 in Grand Forks, 40 in the Oaks area. And checking out your radar, here's a look down in the Southern Valley. That's where we've been focused for the snow. And as we take a look further south, there's not a lot going on the radar, but there are still some pockets that are working their way through, and some areas where we even have a little bit of drizzle here. So we're not quite done with that yet, but that will end before the wind does. You can see there's still snow ongoing down toward the Minneapolis area, down toward Sioux Falls, where they've been getting heavier amounts there. Our temperatures are below freezing. We're at 30 in Wadena and Badette. It's 23 in Grand Forks, 25 in Fargo, and 19 in Langdon. And checking out our visibility, it remains lowered. Not necessarily super low, below a mile is when we get really concerned, but we're looking at 3 miles or so in both Grand Forks and Fargo at the airports, and some other locations in that range, because we do have a little snow, we do have a little precipitation, and wind as well, creating some blowing snow situations as well. So again, a quick look at that hourly planner. Expect to have temperatures just kind of holding steady and dipping a little bit today. Here's a look at those latest advisories. Winter weather advisory now for eastern parts of the state, right along the border, essentially, a few counties beyond that, and wind advisories beyond toward Devil's Lake and the Ellendale area, with that blizzard warning ongoing into northeastern South Dakota and Traverse County, Minnesota, where they have some very low visibility conditions. So we saw the snow still linger this morning, and continuing into the afternoon, I can't rule it out. As long as we've got this system hanging around, we'll see the potential for some flakes or maybe some drizzle, and then temperatures again sliding. So this will just kind of compound our situation with additional moisture out there, and that wind stays strong. As we head into this evening, though, the wind still breezy, but not as windy. It starts to ease up heading into tonight. By 10 o'clock, we're talking about wind speeds that are more into the teens with some gusts into the 20s. A little more manageable, though again, it's still on the breezy side. So this system will clear out, but it's going to last through the afternoon, and then continuing into tonight, we'll start to quiet things down, and it'll be a lot better on Saturday and into Sunday as well. But those warm temperatures, they're gone. We're looking at some numbers that are closer to average for this time of year, teens to some 20s. Still, for January, that's doing just fine, and we'll have a little more cloud cover again this weekend as well.
Sounds like we're going to be getting colder now. I know we just had 40-degree weather a few days ago, and I was getting so comfortable with that, and now we have to get used to actually being cold, but maybe the 40 degrees will come back someday. Thanks again, Lee.